It's Little Satan, and welcome to Little Satan's Loot Can of Treasures or Garbage. Hope you guys are having a wonderful day and staying beautiful. Alright, get Little Satan out of the way, and little Satan out of the way, and we'll go ahead and get to the review, guys. Alright, today we actually have two DC line figurines, more of the recent lines that they've been pulling out today. Arsenal and Deathstorm. We'll get to Arsenal first because Deathstorm's actually really one of my favorites. I'm super excited to review that real quick, but that's actually why we did the review, is because we just happened to have so many Arsenals lying around, because he's actually a really good figurine to get as a customizer, just because of the fact, especially if you're doing archers. I mean, he just comes with a shit ton of arrows, but we'll get to it. So, as we can see right here with Arsenal, all red look. I love the paint details they did on him. They went with chrome and flat paint on him. The paint was just, the detail alone, just for what they did on his pants, the strings. They put paint on areas I was hoping like they need to. Like in the inside of his gloves are a lot darker, more leather looking, as the outside's more of a chrome look. They went all out, and I was very happy they even painted, as you can see, his quivers on the back. And like each arrow, it's a solid line, but you can still, I have three. That's how good of a figurine it is. I've picked up four Arsenals, mainly because we're making an Archer line for New California for the Lucifer Christ storyline. There's a lot of Archers in that line, so all these quivers are used for like Monty and Lynn and some of the Knights of the New California and stuff like that. They need a lot of arrows, so this was really usable. So I remember I picked up one of him for when he first came out. He was actually one of the beginning figurines we picked up, not this one particularly, but one of the first ones we bought for $20. And same with Deathstorm over there. I bought him brand new for $20, and then I got him on clearance recently and got him on clearance. And with the DC figurines, usually when they go on clearance, it's rare to get them at $5. I did get him at vintage, but I got him for $7, I think. No, Arsenal was $12, and same with Deathstorm. He was $12 too. I was only able to get one more Death Star, and like I said, 3 of Arsenals. But the detail's great. The articulation isn't the worst, isn't bad. We haven't successfully used this body yet on anybody, but we do have plans on it. I think we've used the arms on somebody, but I think it was a mistake, and then we didn't use them. The lower arms, I mean. We plan on it. It sucks the body has no ab crunch right here. It's just a solid mass, but they gave plenty of articulation in the arms. No hand swivel, but upper calf swivel, but he stands with, like, right there, first try, automatically stands. But like I said, we do have plans for all of his accessories. I like that he comes with a hat, not because of the character, just because that's like that's 3 baseball caps we have, which is usable for our civilian outfits, or just background characters. He's covered in little pouches here that's easily removable. His belt's actually harder, but yet softer rubber than what he's made out of, so easily cuttable. Same with the legs. I love how they were armor. They're planning on using those for knights. So I know we have plans for the quivers. We have plans for the lower arms. We have plans for the legs. So it's almost like 75% of the body already used that we have plans for, and then these legs are still, and it's like they remind me almost of Robin Hood outfits. So it's like could be used medieval, just regular pants. We can remove that. It's just regular little baggy pants. So it's like we have plans. It's a really good find on the figurine. A really good buy, especially for the price. Even for $20, it's not bad. In the beginning, they were doing really good in these figurines. It sucks that they didn't have a removable arm, as like reference to when he loses his arm, or the heroine, but that's just as a joke thing. But not with this character. I don't think this style of Arsenal does heroine or lost his arm doing heroine. He also comes with his bow and arrow, obviously, you guys can expect. I love this one. I do know for our Anthony from The Cool and Conflicted, we split the bow. I think we just took it right there. We built a longer bow. We combined a bow from Lord of the Rings and some random blades, made it where you could still use it more as a strike to be able to cut people. There's actual, like, almost 2 blades at the end of it, and it still be worked as a bow. But we already used this before, and we have 3 more to use. Probably use it the same way, like cut there, and then add on to make the bow longer, or, now I think about it, almost looks like a devil's tail, but don't have exact plans for the bow and arrow, except for, like I said, building it onto our other bows. And also even his quiver here. I remember that it's cut. There's 3 little pouches there. 1 pouch there. I love, like I said, 90s era, so I grew up on just the idea of pouches, and also I believe it's realistic that all characters should have pouches, so my characters aren't covered in them, but they do have, like, if they're going to need supplies, they're going to have the little pouches on them. So getting figurines that are covered in this is a major, it's just a major find. It's amazing. It's something we look for, definitely. So, Arsenal is a great figurine, and he also comes with, on his own, a little tiny single arrow, so you can get for detailed poses. It sucks because his articulation in his body is not set up so he can really do some dynamic shots of him shooting the arrow or whatnot. I do not like the tip they give for it. Very futuristic, weird. It's almost like a taser. It looks like a little lightning goes in between them. It's just going to hit somebody, tase them or not. But the rest of the arrow is really usable. I've used it for a few other characters just to give them a single arrow, because I got to do it like with them, give, you know, a quiver full of arrows and give at least a single. I like to get like 2 or 3, that way you can see them getting loaded or shot off and whatnot. That way there's a few single arrows, but I like that they gave him with 1, and having multiple arsenals, we have multiple single arrows at this point. So it's a great figurine, great paint, great face apps. The hair's a little weird. Another cool detail, that the hat turns back around. So if you didn't like his forward white trash, because he's like a hillbilly in this almost, hat with a little raccoon or dog symbol on it, you can turn it around, so he's got more of a city boy look, or just hot, tired, walking. So it looks like almost a different figurine. I actually like it a little more like that. Not that we're going to use it for that. We'll end up gluing on someone's head or a bystander in the back. But it looked a little retarded with the hat forward. But Arsenal is a great figurine. The knees pivot out a little bit, more of an arch, but I think we can... Oh, nope, they're stuck like that. So that's just wear and tear on the way they put them in there. Like either molded wire or the plastic just bent being inside the package, because as you know with the reviews, these came out packaged today to be part of it. But moving on to Deathstorm. And I am a really big fan of this figurine. Not so much the character. I mean, it's cool, any character that has my name in it, because my real name is Storm Hartley. But it's really cool for any figurine that's got my name in it, and, you know... But I'm not a big sucker on it. Like, Storm from the X-Men is not my favorite character or something. But when I saw this, it sold itself to me. Like, it just got all nostalgic. Because it's like, I'm not a fan of red, but I love the dark colors on here. I love the costume. It doesn't really look like a superhero costume. It really reminds me... I mean, I guess it's a superhero. The last Scott Summers' youngest brother, Vulcan or something, the one that came back with all the powers. It looks like something he would wear, or it looks a little Star Wars-y, or it looks like it could be from any TV show, any fantasy show almost. It doesn't really look like it's a superhero outfit right away. The symbol on the chest really reminds me of Heroes, the eclipsing sun, kind of. But he doesn't really have too much paint application to him at all. That was disappointing, but I didn't care too much because the figurine sold itself to me. It was all because of the skull. It had Deathstorm in the name. I'm a big fan of death and just skulls in general, so it's like that sold itself to me. I didn't really care for the fire, but now that the light's against it, I think it looks really demonic. Looks really cool. This is one of very few figurines I bought ever since I've really started customizing and started this project 5 years ago, where I was like, I will put that on the shelf. Usually figurines we buy and put on the shelf or don't mess with is very rare. It's something like a nostalgic, like Power Ranger or something that's still in package, and that's still rare because we still get pieces. Because I remember when the animated series came out for DC, and they were making very accurate DC line animated figurines, to be cut in proportion, either like the Batman animated series or the earlier Batman animated series or any of those different cartoon lines. That Batman is the Batman I grew up on. That's my favorite Batman, and someone bought that as a Christmas gift for me. And with that, I was gonna collect it, not gonna use it, and then one day I just opened it and used it as a body. And I had plenty of bodies that still use it. I just wanted pieces from it. And I think the only other thing we have right now is, like, even my wife bought me for Father's Day. She bought me from vintage stock, it's like 12-inch Mandalorian Spawn statue, and I was like, I'm not going to customize that. And I still ended up removing the face and just putting a diamond there in the place, so like, that looks cooler. So I still did changes to it, and I took all of his weapons and used it for this project. So rarely do I ever get a figurine I'm like, I'm not going to customize him or change anything from him. But Deathstorm is one of those figurines, just because he looks cool. I like him. I like the skull. It's not even, like I said, the character. It's just the fact of a unique, cool costume like this that's not just... I count any body as just a muscular body. It's just been painted over as like a Spider-Man or just an average Superman body, even though different lines. It's not like that. He has details to it. His costume has more details to it, and the flaming skull is just awesome. But to the figurine himself, articulation is really... He's better than Arsenal, but even though he came out way before Arsenal. Arsenal came out, like, I think 2 years after Deathstorm did. And right here, he has an ab crunch, swivels all over the body. The thighs have swivels, ball joints there, double jointed knee. I'm not sure. I think the elbow is just one knee, one hinge. What's really cool about it is when I first bought him, I was a little disappointed because I didn't think these were going to move. I thought this was going to be a solid arm that's just going to move straight forward. Thought they were going to juke me. I still bought him anyways because it was really fucking cool. And when I got him, you find out it's soft plastic and there's a bendable arm. It doesn't go very very far, but as you can see, there's articulated elbow in there. You gotta be careful though, because I remember my original Deathstorm, the reason we bought this second one, was we were messing with him so much that this arm right here popped and broke right here, so he had a loose elbow, so he could no longer bend up. And believe it or not, even though it does not have much articulation, once you lose that articulation, you then realize you don't have it. It's literally one of those, you don't realize what you have until it's gone. And it's exactly like that with Deathstorm's arm. You're just like, oh, this articulation could have been way better. And then you break it and you're like, oh god, I missed that inch it moved. I really do. But other than that, the figurine is solid. I love the shoulder pads right here. I just love the way that looks and cut out. I think it's mainly the paint, because I kind of think if you made it look any other way, it would look weird. You have to wonder how he's wearing this outfit. Like, is this a shirt with shoulder pads over this? And there's another baggy, this just has baggy sleeves and a really skin-tight top with shoulder pads. It's an odd outfit, but I think it comes together really good. I love the gauntlets. The metal just laid on top of each other, and the boots are kind of in the same way. We haven't used this body yet, and like we've had plans to use it for a few characters, more of a godly magician character. And like I said, when I use bodies, we just don't paint over them; we build onto them. So it's like we're using pieces, but we haven't used it. And the main thing that stopped us from that was the breaking of the arm, and then just did not use them. And we got the second one for $12, so we were really happy with that. And I'm not sure if I'm gonna use him or not. If not, he'll end up going on the shelf, which is very rare. Oh, he lost our entire set. Thank you, Deathstorm, for giving us a blaze and blowing down our stage. But he may be put on the shelf and not used. I'm not too sure yet. Figurine packaging really was unique for Deathstorm's series. I do know I bought him when he first came out. I literally bought him with Deathstorm. It was purely because I wanted his helmet and his cape. The body was just a muscular painted body. Didn't care for it. The articulation was really good, but he had baby hands. His joints were not very well. They broke apart. The best figurine out of this whole series that actually literally even beats Deathstorm is actually surprisingly Johnny Quick. Yeah, I know he looks retarded, but if you get Johnny Quick and you remove this weird lightning rubber 70s vest, and you remove this cone aliens wannabe bug-eye anime head, you actually have a really, really cool armored body underneath. I know I'm using it for a Zeus character, and I believe I actually have 2 of these, maybe? No, I think I only have 1. I think I almost bought him again in clearance, and now that I'm literally thinking about it, I kind of regret that I didn't, but because we could review them. But we did not, and I didn't get them because I didn't need them, and I just used the one I had, but I used them for customization. But it is amazing armor. The boots are really unique, especially the lightning marks, and using a Zeus-like character almost works with that. It's really a great body, and I know I have the Superwoman only because I got her on clearance. She's just a regular female body. The hair was too mullet-like. The cape was the most unique part, and I literally just got her because she was on clearance. I did not buy Ultraman. And I wanted to buy this Green Lantern because he's like real skinny and veins all over him. He looks like a drug addict. I just thought it would be really cool to get, but I ended up not. The series ran out before I got him, and like I said, I got most of this series. But these are some really articulated, some of the best line, if you guys find them, for it. And I even love the art they did, as you can see. Oh, I was wrong. Got it for $11. Close enough, $12. And what sucks is for the Arsenal set is I bought Starfire and I bought Arsenal, and the Starfire's hair I completely removed. The fire, we're still waiting to use that for a torch or not. The body's beautiful. It's not as articulated as it's looking right there. You cannot set her up in those beautiful... I mean, I guess you could if you angle her right, but she's not as articulated as she's looking right there. But the body is beautiful. The proportions on the body is just, as you can see, just amazing. She doesn't have an Abercrombie either. They left that out so you can get the more art look of it. And same with Arsenal. I believe Red Hood doesn't either. I hated this Red Hood. I did not buy him. His head looks like Vision to me. Or it looks like he's like trying to model, like he's trying to kiss. I hate they gave him a mouth. I'm a sucker for when costumes have no mouth. Even Batman, just like give him a solid Optimus Prime look, early 90s Optimus Prime looking vent cover over his mouth and just call it a day and he'll look way fucking cooler. And same with Red Hood. Red Hood looks cool when he has no mouth and it's just a flat piece right there. Instead of giving him those model lips, looks dumb. And then same with his arm piece. I don't understand why he's got all these weird blades on his forearms. I mean, maybe that's a reference to Batman. I didn't particularly keep up with Red Hood when he was in this costume, so I don't know if he has and was using accessories like that. That just seems like a weird action figure gimmick. And it doesn't even look like they just disappear. I noticed the action figures, so maybe in the comic they extend down and go into his jacket or something and just rip out, or just they shoot out like theirs, like shing. But I like maybe a retarded version of Wolverine, but I don't see it. I don't like it. And the articulation is mostly in his legs, which is fine. I was not a fan of this figurine. The armor would have been cool, but I didn't see it as worth it. But the Starfire definitely was, just for the details of having a really pretty female. You can really repaint her, and there's not much to her, and have such a detailed body like that. It's worth it if you guys want to, but go out of your way to get is definitely Arsenal, just for the pieces and the accessories, like his boots, his gloves, his arrows, all of that. It's really worth it if you guys can find that, especially as a customizer. But for this, what we rate this as a loot can? Well, guys, this, as results may vary with this rating system, but we vote that 1 Captain Pirate Skull, 2 Goat Skulls, well, 3 Goat Skulls, and 1 Pentagram Quarter. Very much so a treasure of possibilities, guys. Like I said, also remember, results may vary with this rating system. If you guys use it on anything else or anything outstanding outside of the Cool and Conflicted, is licensed and branded by Little Satan. Remember that. Results may vary best when Little Satan is involved, or Little Satan. Other than that, guys, keep an eye out for our other reviews or other videos coming out later today or later this week. And you guys remember, have a wonderful day, and stay beautiful, honestly.